So I chose Extension 2 English because I've always loved to write. I think it's so integral to the entire learning experience. Ever since I was young, I can remember writing and wanting to write. And so I just thought that this subject was a great fit, and it allowed me to express myself creatively and in a space where I was encouraged by other girls who were also wanting to write and create art. So yeah. You wouldn't have noticed it as she strolled aimlessly through each aisle, picking up and putting down a week's worth of food. Eyes would not have observed the frantic ticking of thought as she read and reread the list, viewing and reviewing the Monday through Friday dinners that she'd cook and serve each night to an empty house of two. Ears would not have discerned the constant buzz and hum of radio playback that followed every movement. Words may have been whispered, gossip circulating about her proposed mental decline, hushed conversations under soft tongues formulating wild stories of manic episodes, frenzied activity, uncontrollable behaviour. You may have painted her as a creature of unfulfilled character. You may have pitied her. You may have not recognised her at all. Your judgments on her chattiness, overly charismatic approach, her darting eyes or giggly disposition. An awkward outsider. Her story may have been passed down, an old tale, spooky folklore, a fearsome thriller. The woman who went mad, the killer mother, your covers pulled to the rim of your mouth as they tell you the legend, tucked in fitted sheets behind closed doors. You may have vilified her or chose to ignore the signs. Maybe all you saw was a faded apparition that passed across the kitchen windows at regular intervals. Maybe you never saw her at all, but she was there, and she still is there. She stands centrally in a family circle surrounded by friends and care and love, support and reassurance. Sometimes she chats frantically, loudly and with purpose, as if every word she says is the most important thing in the world. Sometimes she is irritable, confused and tired. Sometimes she argues, sometimes she sleeps, sometimes she's numb. She takes on different forms. Her illness is never spoken of. The real problem isn't passed around at parties the way the jokes about her are. Her feelings are justified by her setting. She's encouraged to read, to walk, to knit and sing. She blames herself for the abandonment of tasks she can no longer complete. She is confused and restless until eventually she is heavily medicated and drugged days and nights of confusion fall one after the other in slow succession. She is comforted by the ones she loves, and yet she stands on the brink of insanity, apprehensive to ask for help out of fear of isolation. She is everywhere. In every crack and crevice of society, she presents herself at school meetings. She hides within her home. She cries for days on end. She is all around, and yet we never see her. We never hear her, and she is never heard. She stands among your family. She is tucked behind your grandfather in fading sepia pictures. She smiles uncomfortably at your questions. Today, she stands at the sink, the cold tap water running over her hands as she wrings out a white dishcloth in the early morning sun.